AsmonGold got quite a scare this weekend. I don't know if you took a look at this.
What happened to AsmonGold?
Well, AsmonGold got one of those letters in the mail. I don't know how many people have gotten one of these letters, but in the upper left-hand corner, it has that letterhead. Internal Revenue Service. Now, unless you're getting your treasury checks from your tax refund mailed to you, which people AsmonGold age don't do, they get it direct
deposit.
That letter from the IRS is a scary, scary thing. I've gotten one in my life, and it was when we were on the radio and we were doing Twitch. I thought back then that the 50% Twitch took included taxes. It did not include taxes. So I got hit because we were taking home $2,000 to $3,000 a month on Twitch while we were on the radio, and I was giving some of that to the second mics and paying people that the radio station wouldn't pay. I don't even think Matt was ever paid by the radio station. I think I hooked him up just through Twitch. And I would make like $30,000 a year from Twitch, and I wasn't an employee of Twitch, so it's a 1099 sort of a thing.
So you're gonna have to pay like $7 on that.
But meanwhile, I'm not keeping the vast majority of the money. I'm giving it away,
but you're still paying the tax on it.
So I get a tax, or I get a thing like 3 years. They don't give it to you right away. I think they have 5 years or 7 years to claim it. And I think 2 years after one of our big years on Twitch, I got a $14,000 IRS bill.
Ow.
That hurt. That one stung. I remember going, oh, fucker, what the hell? And at first you want to like yell about the government, like, hey, motherfuckers, they're fleecing me and everything else. Then you look at the back of the thing and you look what it's for and you go, oh, yeah.
I see how this happened.
That's on me. That's on me. Then like 3 years later at the 5-year threshold, I get the state piece
coming after you for more money?
Yeah, and that was like 6, I think.
Ooh.
So that was a pretty harsh lesson. Now I have a corporation. Now I don't have to worry about
Now we're
that
done
shit.
with it. It's all paid up front.
Now I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. That's nice, yeah. So AsmonGold, however, I don't know if you know this or not. This is very shameful for me to admit. AsmonGold is mildly more successful than Steel Toe, if you didn't know this. I don't know if I'm breaking news to you or what.
No, I'm pretty well aware. He's like the biggest WoW streamer there ever was.
I mean, we have like 600 to 700 people watching us at a time in the morning. He has a little bit more than that.
Just a skosh.
Yeah, just a little. So when AsmonGold gets a letter from the IRS, and you know, a lot of these streaming guys have this problem. The number one thing I say to streamers, start an S-Corp. Start a corporation. Get all your payments through the S-Corp. It goes into the S-Corp, and then you pay yourself as an employee of your corporation. You can take some dividends. You can take some, owner, contributions and shit like that to keep the tax burden lower. It's a weird balancing act, though, because you don't get your capital gains taxed very much. As a matter of fact, some of it's tax forgiven up to a certain amount. But if you're an owner and you decide to pay yourself that way versus, doing all of it W-2 so that, just so you can save some tax money, when you go to buy like a car or a house, they don't count your contributions from the corporation. They only count W-2 income. So, like, for example, I was with someone long time ago. I was with someone whose father owned his own corporation. And all of their cars and the house and everything else, when they would buy something, would go in the wife's name. Because she was making W-2 income, and I don't think he was making any W-2 income. I think he was just taking everything out as a withdrawal.
Okay.
So he would pay less in taxes, but if he ever went to get a loan or, buy something and there was an income check involved, it looked like he made no money.
He had no income.
That didn't help. So one thing I would say to these streamers, because they always get popped for this shit, start a corporation, incorporate, and become your own employee. A lot of these guys, I think, take their payouts from Twitch and Kick and YouTube, and they just voluntarily pay the 40 to 50% taxes, state and federal, that you pay as a contractor. Which is wild to me. Or what's worse is they do what I did with Twitch, and I think this is what AsmonGold did.
And they don't pay taxes.
They don't pay taxes on it, and that can really fuck you over. So this is AsmonGold stopping his stream, and this sucks too. He got the notice while he was streaming.
Oof.
That's a shitty deal. Let's move. I'm gonna move us here
so we can see what he's saying and feel.
So we can.
So he like someone came and delivered the letter to him.
I think when you see the number we're dealing with, you'll understand why. They delivered it to him by hand.
Do you guys mind if you give me a couple of minutes here? I had to get certified mail from the IRS, and it says I owe them $397,000.
Holy shit.
Oof. That's a rough one.
But on the plus side, good for you. You're that successful that's the amount they can say they need in taxes.
Well, look, I mean, AsmonGold, is he still involved in that company that he started, or did they make him leave?
I believe they bought him out. I think he sold his shares in the computer creation company.
Okay, and that was a pretty successful company.
Oh yeah, no, they built that. If he sold out for a fucking chunk.
Millions, you think?
Probably.
Okay.
Because it was getting pretty big, and keep in mind that company started and he pushed it when he was at his peak as a WoW streamer before he became what he is now, where he's just a content creator. When he was big in the WoW streaming and everything he did was World of Warcraft, he was pretty much pitching those computers directly to his fan base going, hey, you want to play on a quality PC? You see how well it works and how well it plays when I'm doing it. Use one of the computers I use. So it was just kind of that deal.
So Asmon's got a few million bucks. I mean, but I don't think he's got enough money where 400 grand wouldn't hurt.
Oh, no, that's going to be a pinch. You're going to feel it.
So do you mind if I just take a photo of this and send it to my accountant real quick? I've got to deal with this. Not a good day to be me. Give me a second. It's a little bit late. Yeah, it says intent to seize your property. So, which, I mean, honestly, I think that would be convenient for me. Then that would just work itself out.
Yeah, just have him take, 400 grand worth of my shit. Instead of me just instead of me just giving you $400,000, they do end up, I think, working something out.
I just found out how much money I had to pay this year. They said basically it's gonna get worked out. It's not a big deal. That was not even a tenth of it.
Wait, what?
That was not even. So 400,000's not even a tenth. So you're over 4 million that you owe them.
You know what happened? Oh God, I feel so bad for him. It's because was last year when he got bought out.
I don't know when he got bought out. Let me.
If he got bought out last year, then yeah, when you sell your shares in a company, they do fuck you bad. The IRS fucking destroys you. That ain't tax free, bish.
Systems.
Yeah, let me know when he sold that, and if it was 2025.
They parted years around a year ago.
Yep. Okay, so that's why he 4 million though. So that means he sold that his part of the company for a fucking dickload of money. At least 10 million, $8 to $10 million. At least, if he owes 4.
Oh yeah, it was in the end of 2024. So depending on when things finalized, he was either in the fourth quarter of 2024 or the first quarter of 2025 with that sale.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was reported as a 2025 deal. Oh God. A tenth.
Oh man.
I always say this though, when I get a big bill like that, and I can't imagine being him and getting that big of a bill. The thing that keeps you grounded and gives you perspective is you go, the fact that this doesn't crush me, the fact that I will be able to handle this, even if it stings, even if it hurts, even if I, if I got to tighten things up for a little bit, the fact that I can handle this, I have to feel blessed and thankful for the fact that
I'm so lucky that I have that much money to lose.
Right. AsmonGold gets a bill for $4 million to pay off the tax man this year. The fact that he'll be able to make that payment, look, I can't imagine losing $4 million. That would fucking suck.
But imagine being the guy that's got more millions sitting back after you lose the 4.
And would you hate the government? See, this is the problem. Like, if you're a billionaire, they'll look out for you and give you every break in the world. But if you're in that $5 to $50 million range, fuck you.
You're just a piggy bank with legs.
Fuck you.
Oh, man.
That's like the Chris Rock bit, rich and wealthy. Shaq is rich. The guy who signs his contracts is wealthy. They'll fuck Shaq over on taxes. They won't fuck over Jeannie Buss.
Nope.
How about that? To be fair, it was including a quarterly, right? I think it was a quarterly payment. So, look, guys, we've got to do a chair. I've got to get some fucking write-offs, okay? I didn't know that. We got to get I got to be signing this house up to a write-off or something like that.
You should be renting your house to your corporation
to your corporation for studio space.
Yeah. How much you want to charge for studio space? You got to run all that equipment. There's cost there.
At the very least, it's your mortgage check for the studio space.
You should absolutely be doing that.
Oh my fucking God.
my payments here for studio space.
First thing
I do that.
Yeah, first thing my accountant told me was decide how much you want to charge Steel Toe Media for rent.
God. Wow. Oh, jeez.
That's just it. These streamers get so famous and they get so big so quick that they're just
they don't know anything about the financial side of it.
Right. It's more money than you've ever seen in your life. So you're there will always be enough of it. But it's the more you make, the more fingers are out there trying to grab it. And if you don't hire a professional to protect it, you won't be able to protect it yourself. I was
going to say earlier when he said he was going to call his accountant, I'm like, you might need to fire your accountant if an unexpected bill for $4 million shows up and your accountant's been managing your money this time. Because that feels like somebody forgot to file something or cross some paperwork or file some taxes. Because if he's doing his job as your accountant right away, you shouldn't get a letter from the IRS.
His accountant should have told him, hey, you see all this money you're getting from the sale of this business? You have to put a certain amount away because they're going to come after you on this. You're going to have to pay a lot for selling. There is the American economy and the American tax code does not work in a way where a guy gets $20 million and the government goes, good for you, man. Great work. Awesome. They're going to want a nice chunk. That's an opportunity for them.
To be fair, you get a letter from the IRS that says you owe them almost $500,000. This is, I will be honest, I am slightly flustered.
But that's what I mean. Imagine you only have to be slightly flustered by a $4 million tax bill. God bless, right?
Must be a nice life you have. Good for you, buddy.
Good for you, Asmon. You should be, and again, this should be, look, for a $4 million tax bill, your accountant tells you owe $4 million. That's going to piss you off no matter how much money you have. Elon Musk should be pissed off by a $4 million tax bill. But one piece of advice I would give Asmon is, please at least be grateful that you are in a place where you can handle that. You're allowed to be angry about it. You're allowed to think it sucks. But just for your own sanity, to keep yourself calm and cool, at least, be like, hey, it's cool that I can weather this storm.
That I can do this.
Yeah.
No problem shipping it. It's not a big deal. But god damn. I gotta figure out something to do with this. We gotta I gotta buy some fine art and then write it off and then have it appraised, pay the appraiser, and then say the value of it went down and then write that off.
You think all these rich people like art? They all think it's fake and gay we do.
Yeah. And I want to point out how fucking disrespectful that is to us as a culture, because then what that's allowed is things like art where it's no, this is millions and millions of dollars worth of artwork. What is it? It's a white wall that I typed a banana to. Oh, go fuck yourself, Tom. That's $1.95.
Right. The banana becomes really expensive because wealthy people need to park their money.